The Marikana massacre should have been a turning point for the police. The tragedy offered crucial lessons, I suppose, for the men and women in blue.
Yeah, now, and yet nearly a decade later, it's 9 years, can you believe this? South Africans still do not trust them. So let's dig just a little bit deeper. Reporter Michael Marillier joining us now. So, Mike, as we look back on what is almost a decade now, next year it'll be, we're going to commemorate 10 years of this. Haven't had a second Marikana in the country, thankfully, but the data suggesting many people still are rather weary of the cops.
Yeah, that's right, Gareth. Good morning to Milo as well. The SAPS coming under the spotlight in a survey by Stats SA, which was conducted at the beginning of 2020, basically asking what is behind the badge. Do you trust the police, and do you trust other authorities who are supposed to keep the police in check? Let's take a quick look at some of those numbers. So the key question, do you actually trust those police officers who are supposed to protect you? 26% of respondents, so in other words, almost 1 out of 4, said they do not trust the police. Another 11%, 1 out of 10, said they had a strong distrust for the men and women in blue. Now, of course, government is supposed to keep check, make sure that the police behave themselves. What's the trust level when it comes to Cyril Ramaphosa's administration? Well, not particularly good either. 28% of South Africans saying that they don't trust the national government. Another 14% saying that they have that strong distrust when it comes to those people leading the country. And when it comes to oversight of the government, that's Parliament's job. How do we feel about Parliament? Similar stats, I'm afraid. 30% of respondents saying that they don't actually have faith in Parliament. Another 15% saying, again, strong distrust when it comes to that institution. So we're talking about almost 1 out of 2 people saying they don't actually have faith in South Africa's Parliament. And the key issue here, guys, both Parliament and national government are expected to have some sort of oversight over the police. It seems 9 years later, we haven't learnt many lessons from Marikana.
Yeah, and I want to bring it back to Marikana once more. Michael, what actually happened to the police involved in the massacre?
Yeah, well, let's take a quick look at Ria Pierre. Of course, she was the National Police Commissioner at the time. She was suspended roughly 18 months before her term actually came to an end, suspended on full pay. So she was never dismissed, she was never fired. She ultimately went to court to get the findings of the Farlam Commission set aside. That court application was dismissed. As for the police officers, 9 police officers have been charged, guys. 6 have actually been on trial. But this is absolutely crucial. There have been no charges against any of the police officers who were involved in the massacre on the 16th of August. So in other words, all of those other charges relate to the build-up to the massacre on the 16th. So far, on the events of the actual 16th of August, no one has been charged.